You keep topping it because you're lifting your head up too early. Sound familiar? It's a lie, and I'm going to explain exactly why in this video. And I'll show you a real-life example of one of my students proving the disastrous consequences of keeping your head down too long. So what's the real issue with looking up for it too quick? It's not looking up for it that's the problem, it's what the ball is doing. So a lot of players think that when they look up for it, they lift the golf club up, the golf club hits the top of the ball, and then we top it or we thin it and we see that type of shot that's so frustrating and we really want to get rid of. And this makes sense because if you think about it, if you look up for it early, then surely the body is going to rise up, which then means the golf club is going to rise up, and then you're going to hit the top of the ball. Surely that makes sense. That's incorrect and not what happens at all. We actually want to look up for it when we hit the golf ball. Let's check out one of my students, Dorian. He was struggling with hitting loads of thin and top shots, but he is great at keeping his head down, as you can see here. So what's the issue? When we keep our head down too long as you strike the golf ball, your right shoulder is going to hit your chin. And as that happens, the shoulders stop turning. As you strike the golf ball, the club head has loads of speed and momentum, and we have to decelerate this somehow. It can't keep going forever. Normally, we would do this through turning our body to let the golf club decelerate. But when we keep our head down too long, this inhibits our shoulders from turning, as we mentioned, so we can't decelerate the golf club effectively. So what do? Golfers are pretty crafty creatures, and we're pretty good at finding a solution. So because we cannot turn our body, we have to use our arms to slow the golf club down. As we can see with Dorian here, because he keeps his head down so long, we can see that he releases the golf club very excessively, extending his left wrist, and there's loads of bend in his left arm. Now, both of these things he does to try and slow the golf club down because his head stays down too long and he cannot turn with the body to decelerate it. Both bending the left arm and extending the left wrist, both bring the golf club up into the air, causing us to hit the top of the golf ball, thin it, and top our shots. Take 10 shots off your scores with my completely free 5-step guide to better golf. Just check out the description. So Dorian was actually topping it because he was keeping his head down too long. The age-old myth of keeping your head down is actually misinformed, because if we keep our head down too long, it restricts our ability to turn, and we have to slow the golf club down somehow. So if we can't use our body to turn and decelerate the club, then we're going to use our wrists and our arms. And that's when our strike is going to be massively affected, because the distance the golf club is from our body is then changed when we add in flexion in our arms. This leads to topped and thin shots. I actually encourage Dorian to look up for it earlier, as terrifying as that may sound. You can actually see here in his downswing how his eyes start to track towards the target much earlier. And that frees up his shoulders to turn through the shot so that he can decelerate that golf club using his body rather than struggling trying to use his arms. When he stopped keeping his head down so long, he was able to decelerate the golf club using his body, and in the process, something wonderful happened. His left arm straightened and he started to create shaft lean through impact, all because he didn't have to decelerate the golf club using his arms, because now his head wasn't staying down, so he could actually use the pivot of his body to slow the golf club down. This led to some awesome strikes. We shifted his low point forward, he started to hit more down in the golf ball, we started to see some proper ball-turf interaction in his shots. So no more tops and thins. So what have we learned? We don't want to keep our head down too long because it actually causes tops and thins. And that's because we can't decelerate the golf club effectively with our head down, because it stops our body and our shoulders from pivoting. Looking up to the target allows our head to move freely with the pivot of our shoulders so that we can decelerate the golf club effectively, leading to better strikes. The next time your golfing buddies tell you to keep your head down because you topped a shot, ask them why. See how well their explanation ties to impact. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this so that I can help you play your best golf. Take 10 shots off your scores with my free 5-step guide. Just check out the description. And if you'd like to work together on your game, either in person or online, just check out the description for the link and all the details. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm here to help. Happy golfing. Have an incredible day.